welcome to What's New. And as you'll notice, we have some young gentlemen here tonight, and a hairy Jason, who is used to, we usually have a bald-headed gentleman on.
Right, and his name is
Tonight
Lance.
we got one with hair. So,
And a piggy tail.
yeah. And we have Diane Wilson with us. So, Iris, take it away.
Okay, you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Sure.
Okay, what's your name?
My name is Nathaniel Gilchrist.
Nathaniel Gilchrist, okay. J-O-K or J-O-G?
J-O-K.
J-O-K, okay. And your name?
I am Jaden Murphy.
Okay.
I am Nathaniel Church.
Okay.
My name is Noah Church.
Okay.
Cameron Murphy.
I thought you guys said you weren't brothers, you're not?
No, us two are. And then them two.
Who?
Me and him.
Oh, the Churches are cousins?
No,
These two?
Churches are brothers.
No, those are my boys.
Oh, okay.
Those are my
They told us
sons.
they weren't brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't want to
No, I'm
blame
not
each
brothers
other.
You're not related to him, right?
I'm really introduce yourself.
Okay.
And my name's Jason Church.
See my face?
And they're here to talk about their medals that they got from martial arts. So
Yeah, we just got
whoever
back.
wants to start talking,
Yeah, we just got back from the Missouri Invitational in St. Peter's, and some of these guys competed. I'll let you guys tell the story. Go ahead.
Each one of you tell.
Yeah, tell them what happened, how you did.
Well, I got first place in sparring because from Lance and Jason, they taught me some of the forms that I know now. So that's how I got first place, one of my medals.
well, congratulations.
And how old are you?
I'm 12 years old.
And then Jaden, he also competed, didn't place, but he did a very good job. And then Nate, how'd you do?
I got 2 gold medals.
Whoa.
And
What'd you get your gold medals for?
sparring and forms.
Great.
And I just did strict, like, I
Right.
don't know how I'd say it, like, really fast. Yeah. On forms and sparring,
Now, what is sparring?
that's like
Fighting.
Yeah.
It's a form of fighting.
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 Yeah, we wear chest protectors, headgear, hand and feet gear, and it's determined by points. You can lose points, if you kick too low, or if you get knocked out of the ring. You can score points. If you kick to the chest, it's 1 point. If you spin and kick, it's 2, and kick to the head's 3. And we have 3 judges in the corners, and then there's a referee in the middle, and everybody keeps score. Usually it's 2 1-minute rounds, but like when I went to the national championship, it ended up being 4 rounds. So it just depends on the tournament.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I am 11 years old.
You are 11 years old.
Yes.
You're getting old.
Quite an accomplishment for 11.
Let's see, and Nate, and you're a blue belt, right?
A blue belt.
Yes.
Okay, explain the belts. If they're like me, they might not know. We might have somebody listening
Like
that doesn't
in
know.
order,
Huh?
What's your first one you get?
white belt.
And what do you have to do to get that?
You have to do forms and a little bit of,
Well, actually, you start on white belt. Right when you join your white belt.
yeah.
Oh, when you join, you just automatically are a white belt.
Yeah, and when you learn forms, you have to learn 3 forms and a range of kicks. And when you learn those, you test, which I forgot the price of testing, but whenever you do test, you become a first degree orange.
Orange.
Orange. Then goes to the second degree orange.
And then you turn in a green belt, and then a blue belt, and that's where I'm at right now. But right after a blue belt, there's a red belt, brown belt, and the black belt.
Oh, so
It's black.
you're about halfway there then.
Black belt, the best that you can be.
Yep.
Actually, when you receive your black belt, which I'm getting ready for tests for that here in a couple months, that means that you've learned basically all the basics.
Oh,
what
okay.
that is. Is that you've learned all the basics up to that point.
So how many moves are there actually?
A lot.
Wow.
Lots and lots, yeah. Yeah, and then once you hit black belt, then that's when you get into the more advanced self-defense and stuff like that. Yeah. But each time you test, you have to learn at least one form. There's a lot more kicks. 'Cause as you get higher up in the belts, the kicks are more advanced. A lot of spinning kicks, jumping kicks, stuff like that. So each test, it gets harder and harder because you have to learn more and more. Actually, the white to the orange is actually, I think it's a really, really tough test because you have to learn all your basic technique. It's a really long test, all your kicks, the forms, and you're starting out new. So you have to learn all these things, and usually people do it within a couple months. It's
really?
Yeah. Yeah, usually these guys, within 2 months, they're ready to test. So, but it takes a lot of hard work. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication.
So how often do you practice?
These are my 2 gold medals.
Those are really pretty, I like those.
Yep.
Yeah, so we have class 2 times a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5:30 to 7. And then we'll have special classes. If we all get together and do some sparring or work on forms when we're working out the time. We've got some tournaments coming up. So once we get closer to those, we'll have more sparring and really concentrate on the forms and stuff like that, get ready for tournaments. Matter of fact, Mr. Lance is going to Kansas City this weekend. He's coaching with Kentucky Taekwondo, which is a huge school. So he'll be gone doing that. And then November 9th, there's a tournament in Georgia that he's going to be going to, and possibly this guy here, Cameron, might be competing in that.
Oh, that'll be neat.
Yeah, yeah. So
He's
it's gonna,
carving pumpkins tonight?
I don't know what he's. I guess so. I'm sure he is. 'Cause he's really good at
That's
it.
next weekend.
It's close to Halloween.
Yeah.
You know, when you're good at something, everybody wants you to do it for
Yes,
them.
he
You know,
is.
and
Yeah.
he's really good at it. But November 8th, at the community center, they're having Workout for Friends, and it's a fundraiser. So that's from 6:30 to 8:30 at the community center. So that's gonna be really nice. We got the Christmas parade coming up, all kinds of things.
Oh, you guys are gonna have a float, or are you gonna walk?
Yeah, so we'll probably walk.
Walk.
Yeah, usually walk around, we break some boards, show off some moves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, but we have testing coming up too, so some of these guys are getting ready to test. Noah's a red belt, Nate is a brown belt. I'm getting ready to go for my black belt. Jaden is green.
Green.
I'm blue, please blue.
Oh, he's blue already.
Second degree blue is what I'm going for.
So he's going for second blue.
Well, lots of luck,
Lots of exciting things.
and keep practicing, guys, so when you come back, you'll all have black belts, right?
Yeah, that would be great, wouldn't it? Now, are you looking forward to going to Georgia?
Yes, I am.
Are you? Have you ever been out of the state?
Yes, I go every summer to my dad's.
You go what?
Every summer to Georgia,
Oh,
my dad's.
the other guys been traveling too? Have you? Well, that's really neat.
Yeah, we might be going to, we've got another one in Decatur coming up in November, just pretty close. So I think we might take a little team up there and see what happens.
Well, that'll be neat.
So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, but we really encourage adults to get into it also, even if you don't want to compete. You don't have to try to keep up with the kids, because it's hard. Trust me. Trust me. But, I mean, go at your own pace, do what you can do, but it's great exercise. It's a lot of fun. We have a really good time. Because, like I said, I've got these two here. We do it, and then my other son does it also, and my wife. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yep.
She's a lot younger.
Yes. We're probably twice as old as you are.
Well, I've talked to people in their 30s, say, oh, I'm too old. I didn't even start till I was 36, 37. That's when I started. I have a really good time. And when I first started this, I couldn't touch my toes. And now, nice and flexible and healthy.
Oh, maybe that's what I need.
Yeah.
Did your chair break?
I think you're too heavy.
You're too heavy,
Oh,
yes.
yeah. All right.
Out of the mouths of babes. Okay, so you guys have a fun time at all your competitions, and hope you bring a lot more medals home.
Yes,
And you better come back and see us again.
absolutely.
We enjoy having you. You're always a lot of fun.
Thank you.
I like to hear all the things you do.
Yes.
Just yesterday when we were running, I fell and slipped, and I went on the bleachers, and I got back up, and I said, "That was fun."
You did. I heard it.
If I would run and slip and not get back up, I wouldn't say that was
I
fun.
wouldn't either.
I don't know.
Well, you enjoy your trips and keep working really hard.
Good luck to all of you.
All right, thank you. Thanks for having us.
If you want to come back on, just give us a
Yes.
call.
Great.
You or Jason, you or Lance, just call us.
Sure, thank you very much.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you for coming on.
Sure.
We always like to have the kids because they're a lot of fun, and I think they work really, really
They
hard.
do. You know, because, we've seen a lot of kids come and go through that class, and, they make it to green and blue belt. That's an accomplishment. It takes about a year, of going every week,
Oh, really?
to get to that. And there's no seasons. It's not like football or wrestling, we have certain seasons. It's all
All
year.
year round, so it's something to keep them off. the
And when you get to
streets.
that level, it's not just, at the school, you have to practice at home. Otherwise, you're just not going to advance. So it's something you have to do every day.
Right.
How long does it take you to get a black belt?
Around 3 years. That's about where I'm at now. I've been doing it for 3 years now. Yeah,
That's a lot of work.
it's a lot of work. All the bumps and bruises, broken bones. Yes. A lot of fun though,
Well, good.
yeah.
Proud of y'all.
Why doesn't Cameron show us?
What did you say, hon?
Why doesn't Cameron show us?
Why doesn't the camera show
Why
you?
doesn't Cameron
Cameron?
show us a roundhouse kick?
Yeah, we've been through that. We've had them up on the table
Yes,
and
we
kicking.
Remember that one?
We have
We have some
artwork.
very expensive art on the
Yes.
That's right, maybe next
The
time.
next time you come back, we'll let you show us some things, okay?
All right,
Okay.
sounds
They
good.
probably know that that was done before.
Right.
So thank you very much.
All right,
for
thank
coming.
you.
And anytime you want to come back, give us a buzz.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, you are welcome.
Good luck.
All right, guys.
Okay, now we have Diane Wilson, and she is a photographer by trade for several years, and she's developed this new method. Is it new or?
Yeah, something I developed, yeah.
She developed it, and she'll tell you all about it now.
Okay. Hi.
Thanks, guys.
I've been meaning to ask you, is this show live?
Yes.
Oh, it is. Okay, so
Very live.
those who turned us off to watch the World Series, I understand.
And there probably is a lot of them.
We can't compete against the World Series, but those who stuck with us, thank you.
But you know what? They can watch it on the video on demand.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's
So-
it.
Those are fascinating.
We
Thank
can,
you.
yes, they are. They're beautiful.
I've spent most of my adult life, probably, over 25 years as a photojournalist and worked in various papers from the East Coast to the Midwest. And
That's beautiful.
thank you. And when I had lost my job, after cuts, layoffs and stuff like that, I was trying to think what to do, and I had already joined the art guild here, and so I was like participating and doing the Christmas shows and stuff like that, and I started painting, which I really enjoyed, but nothing would sell, and I get all excited and nothing would sell, and and then I remember somebody came up to me, one of the other artists came up to me and said, "Oh yeah, I remember when I first began, I painted like that." And I went, "Oh no." So you all know Allie Kavanaugh, and
Yeah.
she's a good friend of mine. And so I was talking to her, and she said, "What you need to do is get back to your roots and think outside the box." And so I would say within the next couple days after that conversation, I did my very first piece, and it was on my son. I was sitting in the library at Jeffco, and he was taking an entry exam, And I was looking at this huge book of Picasso, and I'm like, I haven't seen, like Picasso stuff in a while, and I'm like looking at it. And I go, what would Picasso do if he had today's technology? Would he still do his art the same way? And I thought, well, I have today's technology. What can I do with photography to kind of simulate that? So the very first couple pieces I did really did kind of have that Picasso style to it, but as time went on, I found out that what sold was things that were realistic instead of non-realistic. And I had worked for, 3 years or so for the Botanical Gardens, in St. Louis. And so I always enjoyed shooting nature and stuff like that. I was a freelancer for them at one time. And so I started doing that. And when I first started doing these pieces, I was using styrofoam to raise the pieces up. The very first piece I did is, you get something in your head and you're like, okay, I got to do this, and it's like, I got this idea and I don't even know how to do it, and 8 hours later it's done, but because you don't stop. And when the very first piece I was like, what can I use to raise up the pieces with? That was the idea I had. So I went down to my basement and there was like styrofoam everywhere from packing. Everything's packed in styrofoam.
Everything, yes.
And so I brought them up and I started cutting them up, and little balls of styrofoam all over the living room, and cats were having a ball. And
Cat had a new toy.
yeah, that's right. And I started using styrofoam to build the pieces up, and I thought, it's stark white. Then I started painting them, the pieces. And so I used that for, first couple years or so. And then it just seemed like I needed something. And then you all know Lulu Cameron. And she said to me one day, I've been thinking about your artwork, and I think that what you're missing is you should use acrylic rods. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this so you can see it. Don can, let's go this way. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. If Don can see the edge up here. And so I started using acrylic rods to start, I thought, oh my gosh, that's a great idea, And that's exactly what I needed, because it lets in light, it doesn't distract, it can go with any color, and I don't have to sit there and paint it, And so I started using acrylic rods. Now, to explain what this is for people, this is a photograph. This is an actual photograph that I had taken at the Beauduc house. This is actual photograph paper. It does bend, and it is it is very fragile in the sense that the coating that I put on it makes it very fragile. Like you could drop it, pieces could break off of it like glass. I tell people okay, it's like a glass sculpture, but it doesn't sit on the table where the dog's tail can knock it over. You have it on a wall, so it's safer. And as far as I know, the only one's ever broke a piece of my art is me. But I'm hanging a show and I usually walk on it. Because I have it on the ground, I forget it's there. And for those who may know me or may not know me, I had a gallery downtown on 109 North Main Street. It was called the Center for the Arts for a while when we were teaching classes. When I got moved to a smaller building, we couldn't do the classes anymore. So I changed it to Studio DLW, which is my initials, Diane Wilson, And then this past December, I decided that as much as I love being a merchant in St. John, and it's so much fun, and every day you meet someone new. If you like the kind of opportunity where you meet somebody new every single day, and and I just really enjoyed that. But at the same time, as a merchant, to survive, you have to think of all these other things you have to sell besides, a $500 piece of art. Right. And because, with today's economy, people just don't walk in off the street and buy it every day. And so I spent a lot of my time making a lot of other little things like scarves and clothing and I made little girls' pillow dresses and that kind of stuff, which it kept me from doing the main thing I really wanted to do, was getting back into this. So December, I made a big decision and to close my shop and to start working on my artwork and to try to get it out in other galleries, out of St. John and stuff like that. So I am going to have a show here, back in my old gallery, on 4th Friday, but it's called Life is Art, and it's is going to be running in the same show that the Art Guild has. They're doing a show there also the same night. So I'm the featured artist, and then the Art Guild's going to have paintings from the plein air event that was done here just recently.
And prior to.
And prior to, okay.
And that's also the home of the Art Guild now. Well,
Yes, the home of the Art Guild, yes, yes. But
we call it home.
you call it home, I know. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do something completely different. You know, as I said, I started, changing what I do and evolving and, getting a little bit better here, a little bit here, a little bit here, And then when you actually, it's like when you move a piece of furniture and it looks so much better over there and you go, why the heck did I didn't have it there in the first place, It's the same thing when I work on my artwork and I go, wow, this is so much easier. Why the heck did I didn't do this in the first place? And so I'm going to have not a completely different style, but a different style than I've ever done before. I was going to bring in one example, but it's still wet because, I'm an artist and I procrastinate, and Friday's a show and his is Wednesday, and they're not done. So, the subject is zoo animals in St. Louis. I went to the zoo one day with my daughter, and I had my long lens on my camera, and the lighting that day was just awesome. And so I got these I thought were really incredible photos of zoo animals now. Now, as you see here, the cutting here is very blocky, because it's a building. This other piece back here, getting back to the zoo animals, I'll explain why I'm going to show you that one. But this other piece back here is the tall dead weeds along where the ferry docks.
Beautiful. That is.
Thank
That's
you.
Gorgeous. It's so shiny and
That is beautiful.
And
really
that's
picks up the light well.
yeah, and that's during the fog. And that's why you can't see the river. It's that we had that real heavy fog a couple times.
Oh, okay.
Last I think spring or something like that. And so I was fascinated with running around the town taking photos, But that's the first time I started really doing something that was cut real thin. It's a little hard to cut it that way, and I do cut these all by hand. And then B, I'm always afraid the small pieces will break off real easy. And so, but I challenged myself this time, and animals have lots of fur. So I thought, wow, this is very unique and very different. And I all of a sudden just, that mind went again, like the very first one I did. And I was like, oh, I can do this and do that. And also these things, all this sort of falling into place, how to do this. And after I get done, I go, wow, why didn't I do this in the first place? But the zoo animals, I don't have the originals with me. I don't have the finished pieces, but I do have some photographs of some of them. I put some photos on a CD for Dawn and brought them in. And, the machine doesn't take CDs, it only takes DVDs. So luckily, I just had to have these photos in my car to show you some of the ones I'll have at the show. Now keep in mind, these are the actual photographs, and then you can imagine what it will look like as a 3D, when I'm talking about the hair. So I'm going to...
Oh my gosh, I bet that is absolutely beautiful.
That is beautiful.
Those are cut thinner than the weeds over there, right?
Yes. And as on all these, on the two you see here, it takes 2 photographs to make. I actually doing 3 photographs for each.
And so are these flatter now, or do they stick out?
A little bit of both, but they are going to be a little more, not as far as sticking out, because you want all the layers to really blend in together.
Each other.
Yeah. And I really love this photo.
I like that.
The zebra was in complete shade, and turned around and happened to look at me, and his face just hit the sun. And I just thought, it was so cool, because his whole face is lit up, and all that hair, my daughter goes, yeah, it's like that old man hair in the ears, Mom.
True. True. You say it.
So yeah, so this is a lot of fun. And then I love this. This looks like I love the lighting on this one.
Oh, isn't
isn't
that
it
wonderful? Oh, my gosh.
It's like either the three old men, or the three guardsmen. I haven't figured out which one yet.
Three guardsmen, because I don't see as much hair coming out.
No, this is true. Yeah, this is true. But this is large. This is a very large piece. It's bigger than the piece here I have now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for the show. And so cutting all the little
Now,
tiny hairs
Are
in
those
there.
layered where the horn are on both pictures?
Mm-hmm.
Like in
Yeah,
front? Okay.
yeah. And I've done 3 layers. So the head is one layer, the fur underneath it, like right here, is another layer, and the body's another layer. I got surgical scissors now, so it makes it a little easier to cut, But, well, the first time I used it, I actually stabbed myself, but other than that.
Oh, my gosh, this is gonna be such a good show.
Yeah, so I look at all the little, like, up in here on its horn. All that, because that's one reason why I wanted to make this bigger, because the fact, all the little details on this one, I just think is amazing. And then, this is my other one.
Oh, my.
Oh, my gosh.
And then once again, all the feathers are layered in the photo. So, and this one is not going to be as, like, stand out as much, because you want all the feathers to kind of flow together,
That's beautiful.
Thanks.
She's such a good photographer.
Yeah, and I actually shot this through the cage that the eagle's
Really?
in. Yeah.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, for those who want to know how to do that kind of stuff, if you put your lens right up next to a cage or right up next to a window, you can shoot right through it and the stuff in front won't show. Because you're focusing out past that part and it's too close to the lens, so it just kind of blurs away. Yeah, so like if you're inside your house and you have that great cardinal outside on your porch, and it's such a great photo, but I don't feel like going outside because it's winter and there's 3 inches of snow out there. You can put your lens right up against your window, and accomplish the same
The
thing.
only thing that don't work is when there's a screen on the window. It leaves
Yeah.
no checkers.
Yeah, well, actually, this is shooting through a cage. You can see the lines in the background, see the
Right.
lines?
Yes,
Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah, so it's like that in the front too. But you just have to be pressed right up against it. You can't have any gaps. Yeah, you have to have the lens right
And
up
it's
against it.
probably because the window and then the screen sets out from it.
And that could be it. If the screen is setting out a little bit further, then your lens is going to try to focus on it too. It's going, But I'm going to have
Wonderful photos.
I'm going to have 9 animals, and if I could show you the CD. Thanks, Don. But
He can change the weather, but he can't change
I know.
Yeah, well, it makes the weather pretty good.
But one of them's an ape. I call it my cousin Vinny.
Oh, my goodness.
When you see it, you'll understand because he looks like he belongs to the mafia. The other one is a penguin, and I right up against the glass. The penguins are one of the hardest things to photograph in the zoo because it's real dark in there, and those things move as fast as butterflies. So. It's first of all, it's dark, so your lens can't focus. And then, because they're moving so fast, you have to use a slower shutter speed, and you just gotta wait till they take a breathe and stop for a second, look at you. And so, I probably took like 1 billion photos in there and got a couple in focus, but just one. That's all it takes is one, right? And he's like right up against the glass, he's looking at me like this.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's so cool. And then I have 2 pink flamingos. And they're standing next to each other and they're sleeping and they have the leg up and their long necks are going like this and they form a heart.
Oh, my God.
It's so cool.
I bet that is.
I couldn't manipulate that in Photoshop if I wanted to. It was so cool, I couldn't believe it. And then I also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I have a camel. Yawning. That's one hairy animal. I have a prairie dog, and he's like standing on the ground, and his little feet are real muddy, and he's got all these little sticks like stuck to his paw.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all brown tones because the ground is brown, and the tree is brown, and he's brown, but it's kind of cool. And then I have a giraffe, and with his tongue out, eating a tree. I'm trying to think of them like at home where they're laid out. But, yeah, so I'm very excited about this. And
Are you going to have all these at the art walk?
I'm gonna have them all at the art walk.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's great.
yeah.
Now, you're gonna have some more like these, like the Bullock House and the river.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. Since I've moved my gallery, I have a lot of my artwork at Kathy's Dress Shop on 3rd Street.
Yes.
And I can never, like, pronounce the name, so, sorry, Kathy.
It's French.
I know, it's French. I can never do good with French.
Dress shop.
It's right.
It's Kathy's.
It's Kathy's Dress Shop, right? Right next to the, yeah, that's right. And right next to the Old Brick Restaurant there, and it's on the corner, basically on 3rd and Market there. And I have a lot of my artwork there, and that's where I have a lot of these type of pieces there. But for the show I wanted to do at 109 North Main Street, I wanted to have something completely different that no one's seen, and kind of have a theme for it, you know. I will have 2 additional photos added to that from St. Louis. So, because I was in St. Louis Zoo, and, you know, that's going to be added to the animals. But, yeah, and I will also have, I have 1 set of photographs, and they're being matted right now. Yeah, I'm procrastinating so much. I go up to Judy and say, Judy, can you have these done by Friday? And that was like 2 hours ago. So thank you, Judy, if you're watching. But I'll have 1 set of these also on sale, just the photographs themselves. You know.
Oh, you have them on sale.
Yeah, so I'll have those on sale, and my 3D work, it'll be anywhere from like this size to 5 by 7. So I have a lot of variations of sizes in there. So.
Now, did you do different sizes of each animal? Did you?
Yeah, yeah. And I'm also doing something different. I was building these wooden frames, and I'm going to have it framed in a black metal frame.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah, it's not a gloss, it's like a satin
Right.
type frame.
It's a mat, yeah.
Yeah, like a mat. So, you know, of course, no glass or anything like that, but the outside is going to be this black metal frame.
Did you in the white?
Yeah, yeah. And and that was one of those things I thought, wow, I wonder why I haven't been doing this forever, because, wow, look at the time it saved me. I mean, it would take me a week just to make all the boxes,
yeah.
the wooden boxes.
So now you're putting wood inside the picture thing?
Yeah, I mount them on wood.
And then just frame them out with the metal.
Yeah.
Those would be really nice.
Yeah, yeah, and that's something I've never done either, so a lot of different new techniques that I'm hoping that, and please, express your opinion and tell me what you think, and if you really think the older style's better, don't be afraid to tell me.
I have your flowers, your, what's it, crabapple or maybe, which one, crabapple?
Crabapple,
Yes, I love it. Get so many compliments on it.
Oh, thanks, yeah,
That's probably one of the first bunches you did with the rods,
yeah,
with those.
yeah, and, yeah, so,
Now,
anyways.
you also have a website too.
Yes, I do have a website. It's fairly easy to remember. It's Studio DLW. D as in Diane, L as in Lynn, W as Wilson, and .com. And unfortunately, my husband is my webmaster, and it's on one of those honey to-do list things, and it's like 2 months behind being updated. So. Yeah, and of course he works with the Post-Dispatch, so, he's been taking up, the Cardinals have taken up all his time now.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And so I wanted him to get in there and do my website to promote the show, and of course it's not on there, so it'll probably be on there the day of the show.
Take your pictures and put them on Facebook.
What's that?
Take your pictures and put them on Facebook.
Yeah, so I'm not sure.
And then I'll repost them on mine.
Yeah.
Somebody else can repost
Yeah.
them.
I'm trying to think, do I want to show everybody what it looks like first, or tease them, or,
Well-
I don't know.
I think
I don't know.
personally, I would show them, I would just wait
Yeah.
and let them all be surprised.
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot to tell you one important thing. 20% of the sales that night of my artwork, there is a store at the St. Genevieve Women's Clinic in Bloomsdale. that, sells things like when a woman has a breast cancer and stuff like that, and, and she has to get a specially made bra, all that kind of stuff. They sell this kind of special needs for women. And, if somebody's insurance doesn't cover it, they don't have the money. So 20% of that is going to go to,
Fund that.
yeah. Yeah, this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I'm a breast cancer survivor of 3 years. And so I thought, since I'm actually having the show during that time, it'd be nice to donate to something, but something local,
Right.
so, yeah, so anyways.
And so that tied in perfectly, because Terry is now surgeon.
Yes. Terry's Cavens is the one that owns the building that the gallery's in, 109 North Main Street, so. And,
So do you enjoy this a lot more than your photography, or is it kind of a mix, or?
I truly enjoyed being a photojournalist. Loved it. I worked in Florida for many years. I've gone on the very first alligator hunt. I hung out of helicopters,
That sounds
shooting
like
the beach.
wonderful fun.
I've run into burning fires, to take photos and all kinds of stuff. So I truly and really enjoyed it. But I didn't like, after a while, I didn't like the politics of it,
Okay.
And,
Politics are horrible.
yeah, it is. And it was really devastating for me when I lost my job, because I've only been a photographer. That's all I've ever done.
Right, I remember when you lost your job.
Yeah. And I've never done anything else. When I was in high school, a billion years ago, before they had cars, I worked at a pizza shop and a bowling alley and cafeteria, But other than that, as soon as I graduated from the Art Institute of Pittsburgh, I've been in photography all my life. I started in the commercial end, working in commercial studios, photographing, food setups and that kind of stuff. And then I stumbled into photojournalism, and I had no desire when I was at Art Institute of Pittsburgh to take photojournalism, but when I started doing it, I just fell in love with it. And so I would say, over 25 years, I was working as a professional photographer. So when I lost my job, I was just devastated, because, you don't want me behind as a bank teller, I tell you. And you don't want me doing anything that I can't have spell check in front of me, It's like, I'm strictly, you got that left brain, right brain person, I'm just one-sided here, They don't coincide together. But, so I opened up a gallery here downtown.
How did you ever get to St. Genevieve?
Oh, well, I was a freelancer. When I lost, they had a big layoff in Newport News, Virginia, and I was one of those layoffs. And so Wade, my husband, worked for the Norfolk paper, the Virginia Pilot. And so when I lost my job, I started, one of the requirements to get unemployment is you had to apply for a job like 3 or 4 times a week. And I ended up getting a job offer, but when they said, well, we're not going to go from one job family to another one job family, you would have to hire my husband too. So he flew over there, and this is in the Green Bay area. And it just so happened, Wade's editor from Virginia was the new editor here in St. Louis, used him as a reference and said, well, I tell you what, if you're thinking about moving anyways, because they're not allowed to bring people with them when they go from paper to paper, I want you to interview over here first. So he went to St. Louis, of course, fell in love with it, but they wouldn't hire me because he was going to be a manager in the newsroom. So they hired me as a freelancer. And so I worked for a freelancer for many years, and I freelanced for them, Chicago Tribune, LA Times, Botanical Gardens, I worked for them, that kind of stuff. And, but as a freelancer, you don't get any feedback. Yes, everything's electronic now, so you don't even have to go in the office. So you email them the photos, and then you don't know why they picked the photos they did to put in the paper. Did they like it, didn't like it, that kind of stuff. So you get very little feedback. So I was really, really missing that. I felt like as a photographer, I wasn't done growing. and I needed that feedback. So an opening came up in Cape at Southeast Missourian, and I got the job there as a photo editor, and we were living in Jefferson County. So I had an hour and a half drive to work every day, he had a half hour. And so after
That wasn't fair.
that wasn't fair. After 4 months, I was about ready to go, And so we came here, stayed at one of the B&Bs, and fell in love with the town, and decided this would be perfect because it's an hour both way for us. And found a little house off Little Port Street, and I love being close to downtown because you can walk to all the events and stuff like that. So I'm very happy that we moved here, and that was like 8 years ago. And that's how we got here to St. John. Well, 5 years after being here, and then I lost my job. And then I opened up my gallery downtown. My husband still has an hour drive back and forth to work. I could walk to work, it was great. And through that, I belonged to several committees, in town and stuff like that, and became active with the town. And I've never lived anywhere where I felt that you could be part of like decision-making and helping an area where you live. Because you live in a subdivision. Yeah, okay, there's no, you know what I mean?
You're just living there.
You're just
There's
living
no
there, yeah.
interaction.
Yeah, and so it's really cool between the Art Guild and all the things that the Art Guild's done, between Fourth Friday walks and all this other stuff, and the Downtown Merchants. And now I belong to the Downtown Renewal Program to help the downtown grow and stuff like that. And so it's, it's been a lot of fun, and I enjoy it. And I'm just babbling.
I think the county enjoys you being here. And your husband has written books also, hasn't he?
No, he's writing.
Right.
He's been writing books for like last 5 years. He's writing a book.
Okay.
He hasn't published yet, but he does design books for the newspaper, the Post-Dispatch. So I probably won't see him for the next 15 days because of the World Series.
Right.
Because, well, not as you're going to actually be working the shift and putting out the daily newspaper, but they're probably getting ready to design a book that they'll kick off,
Right
if
away.
they win, that kind of stuff. And I'm just babbling.
That's good.
I've had very little sleep the last
We
couple
like
days.
babblers. We like that. As long as the babblers are interesting, we don't mind at all.
So this weekend you have the art walk. We have lots of stuff going on this
Yes,
We
weekend.
certainly do.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
And before we start on what's coming up, Paul Cameron was supposed to be on tonight, and he had a death in the family, so he's going to come later and talk about the Civil War. So that's, anybody that was looking for him tonight, that's where he's at, so. Anyway.
So he'll be on some other time.
Yes, he's going to come on some other time. And next week we have a bunch of young ladies who have learned to knit and do all kind of crafty things.
All the things that are almost forgotten.
Right. And Mickey Ketting, of course, with Ketting Creations.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
has kind of guided these kids along. So they're going to be on our 13th show, so that should be very, very interesting.
That's cool.
They're going to have Jeff.
And Jeff
Yeah,
McCarty with
shop with
Shop with a Cop.
The Christmas
Shop
shop
with
with
the
the
cop,
Rocket.
not for a cop.
Shop with the,
With
did I
the
say
cop.
for?
No, then what is
Oh,
that?
you
What's
said
Shop
that.
with the Cup?
Oh, it's wonderful.
It's for all these kids that, a lot of the parents can't afford to get these kids Christmas things, and they get together, these cops, and they get a bunch of people, and they go,
fundraise.
And the people donate
they
the
donate
money.
to the-
Well, how
they
many
can-
did they have last year?
Oh,
100 and
my
something?
Lord. Yeah.
And it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Some people shop with the kids, and I had
Aw.
that privilege last year, and you did too,
I did
didn't you?
too, yes.
Mary Ann, did you do it too?
No, I face painted.
Oh, okay. Mary Ann was out there face painting, and Mary Ann and I took kids shopping, and it's such a joy to be able to let those kids buy whatever they want.
You'd
I mean,
be
they-
surprised at the ones that don't want to just buy for themselves. They want to buy for their whole family. So they'll buy
Yeah.
mom a gift, dad a gift, a little brother and sister a gift, and then they'll buy themselves.
Yeah, that's cool. That's very cool. That's
There's
a lot
one
of fun.
little girl
Yeah.
that I took last year, she wanted fingernail polish. And she didn't want just one or two, she wanted a whole bunch of them, all different colors. And I said, well, what's your mom gonna say? She said, well, we looked at these the other day and she told me probably for Christmas I could have them. But it was
She's
so
probably
cute.
that little girl I seen with every color imaginable.
She was so cute, and she just was, oh, I mean, when she got those fingernail polishes, she was totally happy.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Now, do they like just shop anywhere? I mean,
They go to
Alco.
Alco and Dollar General. and- Is
We
that
have
the
it
two
in
places?
Yeah.
Roger's,
Alco and-
Roger's party room is where we usually, they come all meet in there and they have some refreshments.
They have
That's cool.
refreshments and donuts for them and get their picture taken and,
And anybody that wants to donate to it can do through the police department here or call Jeff.
Casey's.
Casey's.
Yeah.
There's
trying to
several
think
places in town
yeah.
that put out things.
But
Okay.
Jeff will be here and he'll,
Yeah, he'll tell everybody where.
Okay.
But it's very, very,
That's cool.
a good, really good project. And they built from just a few kids first year into, you know, well, I
It
think there
just
was
grew
a-
It just
and
grows
grew.
every year.
Aw, that's neat. That's
Yeah,
really
it
neat.
is.
It is. It's great for the
Brings a lot of
kids.
joy to
and then out
the
at
kids.
Casey's, when you get gas or you go in there to buy something, if it say it's, $9.25, the 75 cents, if you want to, you can donate
Oh,
Right.
okay.
in the
Your odd
can for
change.
it, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
And it goes to it, and they really raise some money
Oh,
for
yeah,
that.
they do.
That's very cool. Oh, yeah, I'm anxious to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many years have they been doing that?
Is it 3
3
years
years,
now?
I think.
Yeah.
3 or 4 years.
Yeah, usually around
started
Christmas
out-
time I'm in a fog because I have company coming. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It started out really small and with just an idea. you know,
that's cool.
and
It just
Because he
grew
didn't,
and
he
grew.
do, he did it in another county.
Yeah,
And they said, oh, I don't know if it'll work here. And, you know, but it did.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
It's
it's
very
cool.
successful.
First year he tried it, it went over big, and next year it went
Bigger,
bigger, and
yeah.
it's gotten
Oh,
bigger
wow.
each year.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
But it's great, kids look forward to it.
and then this weekend after the art walk, they're having Heritage Days.
Right.
And so if you're hungry for ham and beans and
All those old
Kettle
fashioned
beef
foods.
kettle beef and I don't know,
Oh
crawlers
my
and.
gosh.
And those, I can't say those French names they're having in the
Yeah.
morning, they're like donuts.
That's a crawl.
So
Well,
whatever.
I don't think it's a crawler.
It starts with
There's
a
a
B.
parade
A
too.
Yeah,
beignet.
beignet, there you go, a beignet, yeah.
But there's a parade too, and that's.
Yeah,
about
there's a
Parade in the
parade.
morning.
I think.
There's crafters, all kinds of heritage crafters.
Yes.
Right. All
It
over the
starts from
place.
9 to 5 on
And
Saturday.
the crafters are not crafters like nowadays
Yeah.
crafters. They're doing
the
all
heritage type, like,
old-fashioned
yeah.
Spinning wheel and rag rugs and all
Apple
that.
butter.
and even
Slaughter.
bob and lace.
Yeah, and slaughtering, they're gonna have homemade pork sausage
Right.
and so.
Apple
if you
cider.
haven't got anything to do, you got plenty. of
All day
things that you
Saturday.
can
It
do.
starts
Yeah.
at 9 to 5.
Yep.
Is that
And
right?
you usually get a big crowd, you
And then
know?
they have the spirit reunion at the historical cemetery, and that's from 5 to 8 on Saturday, the same day. And then also St. Genevieve County Head Start has got their, at the center, they got their food drive too, at Rogers Country. Mart,
Oh, okay.
from 9 to
And
1.
there is a pumpkin pie contest.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday
pumpkin pie.
morning, you have two choices. You can make it raw from a pumpkin that you cook yourself, or you can use canned pumpkin. So they have two ways that you can
Two
turn in
ways,
your
and
entry.
you can be known as a pie baker of the year.
Oh, I have to say something about the Spirit Union. If you live in St. John and you've never gone, you gotta go. Because you learn so much about the history of
History
this
of
town.
St. John.
And it's so cool. I mean, you walk away going, wow, that is like, because
I
you,
didn't know that.
yeah, it's so cool.
And they were saying
You
the
know?
other night that there's more and more people coming forward that want to do this.
Yeah.
So she said it's really grown from
Yeah.
at first, yeah.
Yeah, and like, the people, they stand at the gravestone and they represent that person who's died. And I think the one thing I really remember was Mrs. Valley.
Oh,
She
yeah.
was a character,
Yeah, yeah, and that, the fact that, that they closed that cemetery before, and her whole family died, and they closed that
Right.
cemetery. And how she got snuck into the cemetery.
Well, I
After she
think
died.
that was in the thing that she could be buried there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when she died. And it was several years later. I was in high school and she was still living. graduated and she was still living.
She's got the photograph in her living room, is it, that the eyes follow you? Is that?
Well, they say the house is haunted too, so.
Well, see, I don't believe in haunting. Although some
You
days
just believe in strange
Someday,
noises.
yeah.
I've had some spooky things happen to me and kind of make me sit up and wonder.
Well, I was wondering too what this noise was in my house. It was a stupid little mouse. This morning I opened the door in the basement and
There he said.
no, he took off running. And then he tried to hide in the drain. And I have a little cup in the drain
Yeah.
with the holes in it. So he was all curled up in there and I went like this and he saw me and he took off.
So is he still loose?
I guess he
Oh,
isn't caught
Lord.
yet. I don't know where he went. He ran under the washing machine or the dryer or somewhere.
You don't have a cat?
No, I don't have a cat. I need a cat. Can I borrow your cat?
Yeah, I got 4 of them. You take one of them. Problem is, you do that, you have to keep them for a while.
No, I don't want
That's
that.
like, I went down in the basement about 2 years ago and there was a little frog, little bitty frog, and I thought, I'm not gonna do anything with that frog, I'm just gonna lay him down there. He'd scare me almost every time I'd go downstairs, but I would never get rid of him. He would just hop around, you know. And I'd always think, oh my God, what if I step on him? I'll have warts all over my feet. And I think that's a wise trick. But I don't know whatever happened.
He had a
dried up.
I guess
I don't
you
know
did.
whatever happened.
Oh, I had the same thing. My daughter brought home one little box turtle, you know, and it was like getting close to winter, and like we had him, and she had him outside, and so, okay, well, I did all this research. You can put him down in the basement, eat all the bugs. He disappeared for 6 months. For 6 months.
He hid.
And then my son went down to do the laundry, comes back, and goes, you wouldn't believe what I just found.
Oh my gosh.
We looked everywhere.
What was he eating all that time?
I guess
what
it's
they
like
do.
bugs.
The only thing I found was a shell.
Oh, no!
I don't know what happened.
Something ate it.
God,
You
oh
probably had a
my.
snake.
I was thinking the same thing. Oh,
Well, we did one year. Because I had a skin laying down there and I about freaked out and that was it. I was going down the basement for months.
I had a,
Till I got all the holes covered up.
I caught a spider the other day and I put him in a jar. I thought he was a brown recluse. He might be, I don't know. I never did take him to extension to have him checked. Anyway, this other one was there and I caught him, put him in the jar. And that one ate the other one.
Oh, this is enough of our, I'm gonna be dreaming about
It was so funny. First part,
mice and
half of his body was
spiders.
gone, and then the next day the other half of him was gone.
Probably ate
I
the
told
turtle
David.
at her house. Oh,
I don't have anything in my basement anymore because I don't have any bugs.
You plugged up all the holes.
Yeah, I corked up all the holes and
except for
the termite
whatever
man,
ate the turtles.
termite man came and everything's been
Don,
defogged.
we're
and-
not drinking or anything tonight.
No, we're not.
Oh
Darn.
my.
We don't have any apple cider.
Well, they're going to have that at Heritage Days
Yes,
too. Apple
they're gonna
cider.
have
Apple cider.
And
Oh,
apples and
apples,
caramel and chocolate.
Yep.
They're from Bob for apples too.
Where are they going to buy for apples at?
Where did he say? Is it down at the,
Ooh, it might be cold to do that.
well, they might not, but
At the Presbyterian Church, they're gonna be making madeleines.
What are those?
now what's Madeline's?
Madeline is you have a tray and it's like a shell, it's a cake that's shaped like, almost, I call it a shell.
Oh, I think we ate those at a funeral down there
Yeah,
one day.
and then they put powdered sugar on them. Oh my,
Oh, they're so good.
they are
Yeah.
so good.
Well, I'll have to
We
go down and
we
get
had
some.
those.
They're gonna have,
That's something we
Sandy
went there.
Kohler is gonna make them at the Presbyterian Church.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
Yeah. I know what it was that day. They had the Bible thing down there.
Oh, okay.
We had
Yeah.
them then. Yep.
And
They had a good dessert.
if you
They do
ever
a lot.
want a pan to make some, if you're really interested in making them, good old Lorraine Stagg has some of the pans that you make them in. I think she's got some she'll lend out.
I don't think I'll try those.
And they're really
But they're really, really good.
And I
But you
saw,
have never seen anything, because I've tried that Hutzel bread one time.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
your hutzel bread
I
didn't
wish I
turn
knew
out.
some-
You
Somebody
couldn't
that
have,
made
you couldn't
good
have cut it
Hutzel
with a
bread.
saw. I don't know what I
did you
did
do
wrong.
wrong?
I don't know, but it was just
Killer
like
baked it.
nice bricks or something.
You forgot to take it out of the oven, Marianne. You have to take it out. You can't leave it in
I don't
there.
know what happened to it.
You can't
But it
store it
was
in the oven.
Tony Zarinelli used to make the world's
Oh,
best
yes, he did.
Sis
bread.
Sis Wiener used to make
Oh,
such good help.
my.
And she gave me her recipe, and when I told her that, she said, "What the hell did you do with it?" I said, "I don't know."
You forgot
It
to-
was like a brick.
I just bet you tried to store it in the oven.
I don't know what happened,
Oh,
but I've never tried it since then. Never, ever again.
When we were young, we used to make these applesauce cakes and put all kind of fruit in them. My mom did, not me. Well, I did it one time. Anyway, after I got married, I thought, well, I'm going to make one of those. So I made it, and she used to put whiskey on it and roll the rag around it over them or something. So I did that, and I put it up in the closet. The first year, it was really, really good. The second year, I guess it was too warm outside. And I opened it up, and it was all moldy. Didn't work that time. First time it worked. It was cold though. So
That's one of the things I don't make anymore, is Hutzel bread. And another thing, I do not make homemade biscuits.
They do not like your bread?
I
They
did
like
that.
pucks, hockey pucks.
Well, Nip and my daughter went out and played ball with them.
That's it.
Hey, you're missing the whole marketing thing here, you know? You could sell this dog biscuits.
Baseballs. But they was out there batting them.
Oh, God.
God, that was it, and I
I
told
made
him that's
homemade
it.
biscuits one time, and they were really good.
I
Dave
don't
says
make
you ought to
them.
make some more. I said,
Nice work. When you can buy a can and whap it and put it on.
That's what I do. That's my biscuits. Get a can and whap it. Put them in.
Good out every time, unless you put
They
it
do,
too long, then
yeah.
burn it. Other than that.
Yeah.
So that's
Just
two
take
things
the
I
bottom
learned
off
not to bake.
and just eat the top. I'm telling all my
I
secrets.
did that already too.
The tray, yeah.
Oh. Well,
Let's see if we're almost time.
Yeah, it's
It's almost time to say goodnight.
yes, and Diane,
We've had
thank
such
you
good
very,
times.
very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you, guys.
We're glad
We
you
kind of
came.
got off the subject
That's okay.
of art with dead animals, cats, mice, chickens. No, we
the
didn't talk
mysterious
about
missing
chickens. Yes.
turtle.
Oh, Lord. So we will see you in 2 weeks, and
On the
everyone
13th.
have a wonderful
Halloween.
Halloween.
Are these out? Oh, they're still going.
That's cute. I like that. I like the little.
Oh,
Thank you
Okay,
all.
everybody,
Thank
thanks for
you.
watching. We'll see you in 2 weeks, or you'll see us in 2 weeks.
We won't see you.
Yeah. And come downtown for the art walk, the Heritage Days, and everything else.
and have a safe Halloween.
And don't let those goblins get you.
Yeah, they won't.
Hi, thank you for watching Channel 798.
Thank you for watching Channel 7 and 98.
Hi, thank you very much for watching Channel 798.